What if one injury could end a college career forever? What if every loss didn't just hurt your record, but cost you a player for good? Welcome to the most brutal challenge in sports gaming history. This is the Nuzlocke Dynasty. And today the journey begins with Bowling Green, a one-star underdog with everything to prove and everything to lose. One injury? One loss? That's all it takes to change the course of this dynasty forever. Can we build a legacy under these harsh rules? Or will we be buried before we even begin? Strap yourselves in, because in this dynasty, every mistake has a consequence. Let's get to work. Now, for those of you that are completely uncultured and have never heard of the word Nuzlocke before, don't worry, I'll explain it to you. In the Pokémon world, a Nuzlocke is a self-imposed challenge run designed to make the game harder, more emotional, and way more intense. The two core rules of any Nuzlocke is, if a Pokemon faints, it's considered dead and you can't use it for the rest of the run, and you can only catch one Pokemon per area. Every decision matters, every mistake has a consequence, and when your favorites go down, they stay down. It's what I do on stream all the time when I'm not playing sports games, and it's really addicting. So now let's get into it. Bowling Green has a perfect roster for this type of challenge because they don't really have that many good players who are going to be here next season. So it's going to be very important that we hit the ground running when it comes to recruiting. One of the major rules, however, is we can only recruit one player per state per season. If that player ends up signing, perfect, but if not, we lose out on that player and we can't recruit another player from that same state. We were initially scheduled to play against an FCS school, but I changed our first game to playing against Purdue, which will be a tough challenge to start things off. Purdue is a 77 overall school, which is 10 overalls higher than Bowling Green, so this should be a tough start to the dynasty. One very important thing to keep in mind about doing this dynasty is the wear and tear system. You really want to make sure that your players don't get too banged up. One 5-week or more injury will take a player out of the dynasty for good. But you also want to make sure that you have your best players out on the field in critical moments as well. Just like in Pokemon, it's a balancing act of making sure that we have the right players out at the right times, while also minimizing the risk of injury. As here's a 1st and 10, and we're going to get a sack here. Purdue's had a pretty long drive at this point, and it's 3rd and 15. They're going to complete this pass and just barely miss out on the first. They end up having to settle for 3, and they completely smoke the kick, so we really get a blessing there. This is the first time our offense is out on the field, and they're led by Drew Pine, who transferred from Missouri. Fun fact, Bowling Green probably has one of the more fun playbooks in College Football 26, at least from what I've seen so far, as that's incomplete. That would have been a hell of a grab if he got a foot in bounds, but instead it's 2nd and 10. We're going to do a little screenplay here. Now it's 3rd and inches. We're just going to give it to the back, and he's going to pick up the first down and then some. We get into another 3rd and short situation. We're just going to give it to the back, and this time he gets stuffed. But scared money don't make no money, so we're going to go for it on 4th down, and we pick it up. The Heisman cheese hasn't really been prevalent so far in this game, but you know it could happen at some point. And nice catch there for the first. Boardingham, the tight end, is one of those players that I really do not want to lose in this Nuzlocke, as he makes another big play, getting us up to the 11. We're knocking on the door here with under 2 minutes to go in the first as Pine throws over the middle to Boardingham for 3. 3rd and 2, we're going to try to run for it again, and this time they stuff us for the 2nd time on this drive. But scared money don't make no money. Like I said, we're going to run it in for the touchdown. Having a 1-score lead over a Big Ten opponent, albeit being one of the weaker teams of the Big Ten, feels good. But there's still a lot of game left and a lot of things can happen, but we do get a sack there. Collins Achiampong getting that one. So now we have the football back. It's a 3rd and 4, and Pine throws left side for the completion and a 1st down. Finn Hogan, the receiver, is a senior, but you're going to hear his name quite a bit. Finn Hogan, we come for you, ninja. 3rd and 10 now, and this is a complete foobar by me. I was trying to lead A upfield, but instead I ended up trucking out of bounds. Whoops. In my defense, I've never said that I'm good at these games, and that's even more apparent on this field goal. Purdue's facing a 3rd and 10 as they're looking to convert, and they're going to yeet it, but we're on our tribal chief energy. We're saying no yeet. We get the interception, and we're actually going to get a pretty good return out of this one because nobody's even near him. Now we have the ball near midfield, facing a 2nd and 10. Big throw over the middle. Finn Hogan, we come for you. So now we're into Purdue territory. Here's Pine throwing right side to Boardingham, and what a grab. Oh, he dropped it. I lied. Well, that was something. Now 2nd and 10, and we're going to complete it over the middle this time for the first. So now 2nd and 10. Give it off to the halfback, cut it inside. We're getting another first, baby. So now 4:32 to go. Here's a throw to Boardingham. He catches this one for real. So now 2nd and goal. We're trying to make it a 2-score game. Here's a throw to the back, and you got to make that grab, homie. Now 3rd and goal. I'm cool with settling for a field goal, but RJ Garcia comes up with a touchdown grab. And we held Purdue to a 3-and-out, so with under 2 minutes to go, we're in really good shape here. As Pine lets this go, it's going to be caught, 1st down and more, all the way up to the Purdue 31. After a penalty and a sack, we're facing a 3rd and 26. That pass got deflected off of somebody's back, and it's caught by the running back, and he nearly got the first there. We're just going to settle for our 3 here. Kick is up, and it's good. We're up 17-0 at the half against Purdue. I honestly can't say that I was expecting to just beat on them like this, but hey, I'll take a 17-0 lead over them any day of the week. The goal for this second half is, of course, to hold on to the lead, don't turn the ball over, and make sure everybody stays healthy. But here is Mr. Hogan. We come for you. If only he was faster, that probably would have been a touchdown, but now a 3rd and 5, and Pine goes down. Once again, we have to settle for 3, and this time the field goal is straight down the middle. We're showing a kickoff, so that means something crazy happened. And it's something crazy good for us because we force a fumble and we get the ball back. We are just completely dominating Purdue in this game, and then Chris McMillian's going to get into the end zone for the touchdown. Crazier things have happened in college football before, so we got to make sure we keep our heads on a swivel. Purdue's still a much better team than us on paper, so they could come back into this game if we're not careful. Just got to play lockdown defense here and not give up big plays. They got a 2nd and 2 here, but what a big hit. He absolutely knocked out that running back, and then he gets knocked down again. Purdue really has nothing to lose by going for it here, but we're able to get the stop. So now we have the football back, looking to make it a 34-0 game, but we're going to get picked off. That's really our first big mistake of the game so far, as they're going to launch this one, but their QB completely missed that receiver. So now 3rd and 3, we got to get a stop here, and we're not going to do so. Now they're facing a 3rd and 4. They give it to the halfback. He jukes our linebacker out of his shoes, and somehow we don't make the tackle there. The Heisman cheese is really at it here, and I'd really like to not give up the shutout, but it looks like we're going to do that now. I'd like to hold him here on this 3rd and goal, and we're going to do so, but Collins Anchiempong is actually injured on the play. We could have our first death of the run here as Purdue makes the field goal. But luckily, Achiempong just has back spasms. He'll return soon. But we're going to be smart and keep him out. Now let's just not turn the ball over here. That sounds like a good plan to me, but Pine's going to go down for the sack on 2nd and 9. 3rd and 21, we could just go with a screenplay, but I decided to yeet it instead. Ridley's one-on-one with the corner, but it's tipped away. So now it's a 3rd and 11 for Purdue, and here's the yeet. One-on-one coverage, and I just have no idea how he caught that. That was ridiculous. Good lord. They ended up just taking the extra point instead of going for 2, so now we're up by 17 as Pine goes down again. We got to do a better job of protecting him before he gets hurt as he throws right side. And Finn Hogan, we come for you. We're into the 4th quarter now, up by 17, trying to close this game out. Now McMillan with a big run up to the 31. We're in field goal range, just got to make sure that Pine doesn't take another sack as he's going to scramble. We get a block, and we're up to the 21. So now 3rd and 1, handoff to McMillan, he picks up the first. So now 3rd and goal, here's Pine over the middle, and he finds Boardingham for the touchdown. We're up 24, but after a really bad kickoff, they're past midfield now with that run. We have a pretty good cushion as far as the score is concerned, but I don't want to give up more points to this Purdue team. But that prospect isn't looking too good with that catch right there. So now 3rd and 3, under 5 minutes to go. Here's a throw left side, and they're going to get inside the 10 now. 3rd and goal, just over 3 minutes to go. They're going to punch it in on this run. Now they're going to go for the onside kick after not going for 2 for whatever reason. We're going to recover it. Purdue got the ball back at some point. Now, final few plays of the game, they're going to complete that pass for a touchdown. But we hold on and we win 34-24 in our first game in the Bowling Green Nuzlocke Dynasty. Chris McMillian went absolutely nuts against Purdue in this one. Not too bad of a game for Drew Pine, 21-39, 282, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. Once again, a big game for McMillian, 118 and 2 touchdowns on 22 carries. Huge game from Finn Hogan, we come for you. 6 catches, 128. And all in all, we had a solid performance, got a big win, and no major injuries. Randall Austin was the MAC Defensive Player of the Week, getting his interception. And all in all, a good week, but we got a tough one coming up as we take on Cincinnati, who is a way better team than Purdue in this game. So if you're hyped for that next episode, make sure you guys hit that like button, leave a comment down below on how you feel about this new concept, and I'll see you guys in the next one.